So today I will be talking about which GTA characters could return in GTA 6. It's one of the biggest questions every GTA fan has asked since Rockstar officially revealed GTA 6. So, for who from the old games is coming back? Now before you say Michael, Franklin or Trevor, we're not talking about them today. We're also leaving out every character that has already physically appeared in GTA Online. Instead, we're focusing on the characters Rockstar hasn't revisited yet, characters who actually make sense in GTA 6's story, setting, and timeline. Some of these are fan favorites, some have unfinished stories, and one of them has been connected to Vice City for over 15 years, yet almost nobody talks about it. By the end of this video, we will rank every candidate from least likely to most likely, and I'll explain why one forgotten character could have the best chance of appearing in GTA 6. Let's get into it. So, before we get into the characters, let's just get something straight. Rockstar loves bringing characters back. One thing Rockstar has always done better than almost any other developer is making its worlds feel connected. Even when years pass between games, characters don't simply disappear. Sometimes they return in major roles, other times it's just a quick cameo that reminds players every story happens in the same universe. And that's exactly why this conversation is so interesting. GTA 6 isn't starting from scratch. It's another chapter in the HD universe that began all the way back in 2008 with GTA 4. Every event from GTA 4, every event from The Lost and Damned, every event from the Ballad of Gay Tony, and every event from GTA 5, they're all part of the same timeline. That means every surviving character is technically still out there somewhere. Some are retired, some are maybe richer than ever, some are probably still running criminal empires, and others completely vanished after their stories ended. Rockstar has the perfect opportunity to bring some of them back, not because they need to carry the story, but because small appearances make the GTA world feel alive. Imagine walking into a random business and realizing the owner is someone you met 15 years ago, or hearing a familiar voice on the radio, or accepting a mission from someone whose story never truly ended. Those moments are what makes Rockstar so memorable. So let's start with the character who already has one of the strongest connections to Vice City. Number 1. Jerry Kapowitz. If I had to pick just one character that deserves to return, it would be Jerry Kapowitz. Now, if you've only played GTA 5, you might not even recognize that name. Jerry Kapowitz first appears in GTA 4, The Ballad of Gay Tony, and Nico's story. At first glance, he doesn't seem important. He's homeless, he's a war veteran, he spends most of his time wandering the streets of Liberty City talking to himself. You'd probably walk right past him without thinking twice, but Rockstar had much bigger plans for him. At the very end of The Ballad of Gay Tony, and after Luis Lopez throws away the famous diamonds that everyone has been fighting for, those same diamonds end up in Jerry's hands. Think about how crazy that is. Throughout multiple GTA games, powerful criminals betray each other, steal from each other, and even kill over those diamonds. In the end, the person who finds them isn't a mob boss, isn't a millionaire, it isn't even the main character, it's a homeless man. It's one of Rockstar's funniest plot twists. But the story doesn't stop there. After finding the diamonds, Jerry suddenly becomes incredibly wealthy. News reports and in-game websites reveal that he plans to leave Liberty City behind and move to Vice City, where he wants to open a gun shop. That's a tiny detail that most players completely miss.
Weazel News. Dumpster diving can make you a millionaire.
You'd never believe what people throw out in the trash. That's what homeless Vietnam veteran Jerry Kapowitz thought when he found a pouch of diamonds in the city dump. Initial appraisals estimate the pouch of diamonds to be worth about $2 million. Mr. Kapowitz won't be homeless for much longer. He plans to use his new wealth to open a gun shop and liquor store in Vice City. Mike Whiteley, Weazel News.
But now, fast forward to GTA 6, where are we? Vice City, the very place Jerry wanted to move all those years ago. This isn't some wild fan theory based on nothing. Rockstar themselves planned this idea years before GTA 6 was ever announced. Imagine Jason needing new weapons early in the game. He walks into a small local gun shop. Behind the counter is an older man wearing military clothes. He starts telling a story about how luck changed his life after finding some shiny rocks years ago. Older GTA fans would recognize him immediately. New players wouldn't be confused because he'd simply be another interesting NPC. That's exactly the kind of callback Rockstar loves making. Jerry doesn't need 20 missions. He doesn't need to become one of the main villains. Just seeing him living the life he dreamed about would finally pay off one of those oldest unresolved stories in the HD universe. But honestly, out of everyone we're talking about today, Jerry has one of the strongest reasons to appear in GTA 6. But while Jerry's story is all about luck, our next character has spent his entire life chasing danger, and unlike Jerry, he's already proven he can survive almost anything. Number 2, Luis Lopez. If there is one character who deserves another chance in the spotlight, it's this man. For many fans, Luis is one of the best protagonists Rockstar has ever created. Unlike Niko Bellic or the three GTA 5 protagonists, Luis isn't trying to build a criminal empire or chase unlimited wealth. He's just trying to keep his life together. By day, he's the trusted bodyguard and business partner of nightclub owner Gay Tony. By night, he's solving problems that somehow always end up with bullets flying. Whether it's protecting Tony from dangerous loan sharks, stealing luxury vehicles, or dealing with Liberty City's most powerful criminals, Luis always managed to get the job done. What makes him different from so many other GTA characters is that he's actually level-headed. He's calm, he's smart, and most importantly, he knows when to walk away. By the end of the Ballad of Gay Tony, Luis survives everything that's thrown at him. But the diamonds are gone. His biggest enemies are out of the picture, and for the first time in a long time, he finally has a chance to live a normal life. That's where Rockstar leaves his story. But what if that wasn't the end? Vice City feels like the perfect place for someone like Luis. Think about everything we've seen in the GTA 6 trailers. Luxury yachts, beachfront clubs, private parties, expensive cars, influencers, millionaires. It all screams high-end nightlife. And if there's one person in the HD universe who knows that world better than almost anyone, it's Luis. No, before anyone says it, yes, Gay Tony already appears in GTA Online. That's exactly why I'm not talking about him. Luis, however, has never physically returned after the Ballad of Gay Tony. Rockstar has barely touched his character since 2009. That makes him one of the biggest unanswered questions in the HD universe. Just imagine Jason and Lucia being hired to rob an exclusive nightclub owned by a mysterious businessman. They make their way through the building, only to find the head of security waiting for them. And it's Luis. No big introduction, no dramatic music, just a familiar face that longtime fans instantly recognize. Or maybe he's gone completely legitimate. Maybe he's running security for celebrities, wealthy businessmen, or even politicians visiting Vice City. After everything he went through in Liberty City, that kind of career would actually make a lot of sense. But at the same time, Rockstar could take his story in the opposite direction. Maybe Luis couldn't escape the criminal world after all. Maybe he's still doing dangerous jobs behind the scenes, working for whoever pays the most. But either version fits his character, and that's why he has so much potential. Unlike some older GTA characters whose stories feel completely finished, Luis still has room to grow. We don't know where he ended up. We don't know what career he chose. We don't know whether he stayed in Liberty City or moved somewhere else entirely. Rockstar has left that door wide open. Would Luis become a major character in GTA 6? Probably not, and honestly, he doesn't need to. Even one or two missions would be enough to show that fans in the HD universe is still connected, because sometimes the best cameos aren't the biggest ones, they're the ones you never saw coming. But if we're talking about characters who could have a much larger role in GTA 6's story, our next candidate might be even more likely. Unlike Luis, he already has connections to federal agencies, government secrets, and some of the biggest cover-ups in the HD universe.
Davey.
So, number 3, you guys probably already guessed it, it's Davey, aka Dave Norton. When people talk about returning GTA characters, Davey is rarely one of the first names that comes up, and honestly, that is very surprising, because out of everyone we've talked about so far, Davey might fit GTA 6's story better than anyone. If you've played GTA 5, you'll remember Davey as the FIB agent who helped fake Michael's death back in North Yankton. For years, the two worked together, each keeping each other's identity secret. Dave wasn't your typical corrupt government agent. He wasn't chasing money, he was chasing power. He wanted promotions, respect, and a bigger position inside the FIB. And to get there, he was willing to bend the rules whenever it benefited him. That made him one of the most interesting law enforcement characters Rockstar has ever written. Now, let's look at GTA 6. From everything we've seen in the trailers, Jason and Lucia don't seem like unstoppable crime bosses, at least not at the beginning. They're robbing stores, running from the police, trying to survive. It's a much more grounded story, and if Rockstar sticks with that direction, it's hard to imagine there won't be some kind of federal investigation as the story gets bigger. That's where Davey fits perfectly. Imagine this. Jason and Lucia pull off a robbery that gets national attention. Local police can't stop them. The Leonardo State Patrol can't stop them. Eventually, the federal government gets involved. Instead of introducing a brand new FIB character, Rockstar could bring back someone we already know, Dave Norton. By the time GTA 6 takes place, Dave would be so much older and far more experienced. Maybe he's climbed the ranks and now oversees major investigations across the country. Or maybe things went the opposite way. Maybe years of corruption finally caught up with him, and GTA 6 is his chance to redeem himself. Either way, his role wouldn't have to be huge. He could appear in briefings, show up during a few cutscenes, or become one of the people hunting Jason and Lucia as their crimes become impossible to ignore. That would feel like a natural evolution of his character. But there's another reason Dave stands out. Unlike characters such as Roman or Jimmy, Dave already understands how professional criminals operate. He's dealt with Michael, Trevor, Franklin, Steve Haynes. He knows how dangerous people like them can be. So if Jason and Lucia begin building their own criminal reputation, they would know exactly what kind of threat they are becoming. Of course, there's one argument against all of this. Rockstar may want GTA 6 to feel completely fresh. They might introduce an entirely new group of FIB agents instead of bringing back someone from GTA 5, and that's a fair point. But Rockstar wants a familiar face that actually serves the story, not just a nostalgic cameo. Dave Norton is one of the strongest options available, because unlike many returning characters, he wouldn't feel forced, he'd feel like he belongs. Our next someone is someone GTA fans have loved since 2008. He's not the toughest criminal, he's not the smartest businessman, but without him, Niko Bellic's story would have never happened. Number 4 is Roman Bellic and Mallory Bellic. If you've ever played GTA 4, there's one character you definitely haven't forgotten. Not because he wasn't the strongest or the smartest, but because he was the heart of the entire story. Roman Bellic. Before Niko even sets foot in Liberty City, Roman fills his head with stories about the American dream. He talks about fancy cars, luxury apartments, beautiful women, and in Niko's way, where's Barbaro with big titties and a life full of success?
Come in! Make yourself at home. What's mine is yours. Got him! Little bastard. If he paid some rent, I wouldn't care. Oh, shit. Oh, that's not nice. Oh, cousin, it's so good to see you. Shit. Oh, I need to change anyway. So,
you full of crap or what?
what?
Where's luxury condo? Where's sports car? Where's Barbara with big titties and Stephanie who sucks like a vacuum?
What are you talking about?
In your letters to my mother, in your letters to me, all I hear about is Mr. Big, Mr. Roman, living the American dream. Sports cars, condos, women, money, the beach, opportunity. I come here, and the only thing big about your life is the cockroaches.
Niko finally arrives, reality hits. Roman isn't living in a mansion. He's running a struggling taxi company, drowning in debt, and constantly trying to stay one step ahead of loan sharks. Despite all of that, Roman never loses his optimism. No matter how many times life knocks him down, he always believes tomorrow will be better. That's what made him such a lovable character. He wasn't fearless, he wasn't a hardened criminal, he was just an ordinary guy trying to build a better life. And through all the chaos of GTA 4, one person stayed by his side. Mallory. Their relationship wasn't perfect, but together they represented something that's surprisingly rare in Grand Theft Auto. A couple genuinely trying to build a future instead of destroying one. By the end of GTA 4, assuming Rockstar considers the revenge ending canon, Roman and Mallory survive everything Liberty City throws at them. They get married, they're expecting a child, and for the first time it feels like they finally have the fresh start Roman always dreamed about. So, where does GTA 6 come in? Well, think about it. If GTA 6 takes place more than a decade after GTA 4, Roman and Mallory would have had years to move on with their lives. Maybe the taxi business finally took off, maybe they invested their money wisely, or maybe just like so many people in real life, they decided to leave the cold streets of Liberty City, be fine for somewhere warmer. Somewhere like Vice City. Florida has always been known as a place where people start to go over, and honestly, that sounds like something Roman would do. Imagine driving through Vice City when you spot a familiar blue and yellow taxi parked outside a small business. You walk inside and there he is. Older, maybe a little bit heavier, still talking a mile a minute, still cracking jokes, still convinced he's about to become a millionaire. You don't need an entire mission with Roman to make fans smile. Sometimes one conversation is enough. Maybe Jason asks him for directions, maybe Roman starts advertising his new business idea, or maybe he probably tells you his cousin Niko finally found the piece he was looking for. The last part would be especially meaningful. For years, fans have wondered what happened to Nico after GTA 4. Rockstar has never given us a clear answer, but Roman could. Even one sentence about how Nico is doing well or staying out of trouble would instantly become one of the most talked about moments in the entire game. It would finally give fans a little bit of closure without forcing Nico himself to return. But of course, there is one major obstacle. If Rockstar decides that the deal ending of GTA 4 is canon, Roman dies before the events of GTA 6. That would obviously rule him out completely. But based on the GTA 6 wiki, not the GTA 6 wiki, but the GTA wiki, it is based that the revenge ending is canon. But still, until Rockstar officially confirms which ending is canon, the possibility is still there. And if Roman is alive, he's one of the easiest characters to bring back in a way that feels natural. Not as a criminal, not as a mission giver, just as Roman, still chasing the American dream, just under the palm trees of Vice City, instead of the skyscrapers of Liberty City. While Roman represents the hopeful side of GTA universe, our next character represents something much darker. Power, money, and one of Liberty City's most dangerous criminal organizations. Number 5, Kenny Petrovic. Now, Kenny Petrovic is somebody 99% of people that have played GTA ever in their life even know exists. But compared to someone like Roman Bellic, Kenny Petrovic is a very different type of character. He isn't funny, he isn't relatable, and he definitely isn't someone you want to run into a dark alley or meet outside of your apartment. But that's exactly what makes him interesting. Kenny Petrovic is one of the most powerful crime bosses in the HD universe, yet he still is also one of the characters Rockstar has barely explored. Most players remember him from GTA 4's multiplayer, where he hired players to carry out dangerous jobs across Liberty City. While he never had a major role in the single-player story, his influence was clear. He had money, connections, and most importantly, he had people willing to do his dirty work. That's the kind of person who doesn't stay in one city forever. Now, think about Leonida. Based on everything Rockstar has shown us so far, this isn't just a place full of beaches and parties. It's a state filled with highways, ports, swamps, small towns, and cities. And where there are ports, there are opportunities. Opportunities to move drugs, weapons, luxury cars, or anything else that can make millions of dollars. As we saw in the mission in GTA 4, where Nico and Phil went to the warehouse where Russians were smuggling in coke from Vice City. If Rockstar wants GTA 6's criminal world to feel bigger than ever, bringing in someone like Kenny Petrovic would make a lot of sense, not as the main villain, but as one of the powerful figures operating behind the scenes. Imagine Jason and Lucia slowly climbing through Leonida's underworld. At first they're robbing convenience stores and small businesses, then they're stealing cars, moving larger shipments. Before they know it, they're working for people whose names they don't even know. Eventually, one name keeps coming up. Petrovic. You never see him at first, you only hear about him. Other criminals lower their voices when they mention him. A shipment disappears. Petrovic isn't happy. Someone steals from the wrong warehouse. That warehouse belongs to Petrovic. Rockstar has used this type of storytelling before, where a character's reputation is built long before they actually appear on screen. And if Kenny finally did appear, it would immediately tell players that Jason and Lucia have stepped into a much bigger world than they ever expected. At the same time, there's another reason I think Kenny is an underrated choice. Unlike some of the other candidates in this video, he doesn't rely on nostalgia alone. He actually serves a purpose. Rockstar wouldn't need to bring him back just so fans could point at the screen and say, "Hey, I remember him." He could actively move the story forward. That's the kind of cameo that feels earned. Of course, there are reasons to doubt it. Kenny has always been a fairly mysterious character, and Rockstar may prefer to leave him that way. There's also a possibility that GTA 6 introduces an entirely new generation of crime bosses instead of bringing back older ones, and honestly, that would be understandable. Rockstar has always loved creating memorable new villains, but if they decide to connect Liberty City's organized crime with Leonida's growing criminal underworld, Kenny Petrovic is already perfectly positioned to make that happen. Still, out of everyone we've talked about today, there's one character who's probably the biggest wild card of them all. He's not a gangster, he's not a federal agent, and he's definitely not someone most people expect to see. But by the time GTA 6 takes place, he isn't a kid anymore. So, the last one, number 6, is Jimmy DeSanta, aka Jizzle. Out of everyone on this list, Jimmy is probably the biggest wild card. When we first meet him in GTA 5, he's the complete opposite of what you'd expect from the son of a legendary criminal. He's lazy, addicted to video games, spends most of his day sitting on the couch arguing with his parents and avoiding anything that looks like harder work. To put it simply, Jizzle isn't exactly built for the criminal life, and that's what makes him so interesting, because by the time GTA 6 takes place, well over a decade has passed. Jimmy wouldn't be a teenager anymore, he'd be somewhere in his late 20s. That's a long time for someone to change. Just think about how much your own life can change in 10 years. The same idea applies here. Rockstar has the perfect opportunity to show us a completely different version of Jimmy. Maybe he finally got his life together, maybe he followed in Michael's footsteps without even realizing it, or maybe he's still trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life. But personally, I don't think Jimmy would fit as a major character. I do think he'd make a fantastic side character. Imagine Jason meeting someone at a marina in Vice City who's desperately trying to sell him a business opportunity. The whole conversation sounds sketchy, but also strangely familiar. Then the camera turns and it's Jimmy, older, more confident, talking a little too much, making questionable decisions. It will be a funny callback without feeling forced. Another possibility is that Jimmy moved to Leonida because he wanted to get away from Los Santos. Think about it, by the end of GTA 5, Michael's family is finally starting to reconnect. Amanda and Michael are working through their problems, Tracy is chasing her own career, Jimmy finally starts showing small signs of growing up. Maybe leaving Los Santos was exactly what he needed. A fresh start in a new state, a chance to build something for himself, instead of living in his father's shadow. Of course, there's another side to this. Rockstar could easily decide that Jimmy's story is finished. Unlike some other characters we've talked about, there aren't any loose ends that need to be tied up. His return would be mostly for fun rather than to move the story forward. That's why I ranked him lower than characters like Jerry Kapowitz or Dave Norton. Not because he couldn't return, but because Rockstar doesn't really need him to. Still, if there's one thing we've learned over the years, is that Rockstar loves surprising its players. Sometimes the characters you'll least expect are the ones who end up stealing the show. So, looking back at every character we've discussed, one thing becomes pretty clear. None of them need to return. GTA 6 will almost certainly stand on its own with Jason, Lucia, an entirely new cast of characters, but Rockstar has never treated its games like isolated stories. The HD universe has always felt connected. Characters move, businesses expand, people disappear for years before showing up somewhere completely unexpected. That's what makes these theories so much fun. Some of these characters have unfinished stories, some already have believable reasons to be in Vice City, and others would simply be incredible fan service if they appeared for even a few minutes. So if I had to rank them from most likely to least likely, here's how I do it. The most likely, Jerry Kapowitz, then follows Dave Norton, then Luis, then Roman and Mallory, then Kenny Petrovic, and finally Jimmy DeSana. At the end of the day, only Rockstar knows who's really coming back, but even if one of these characters appears, it'll remind longtime fans that every game in the HD universe is still connected. Now, I want to hear your opinion. Which characters do you think have the best chance of returning in GTA 6? And is there someone I didn't mention that deserves to make a comeback? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and yeah, see you guys.